Oh, that's new.
Thanks for letting me know.
Well, hello, everybody. I'm Garrett Hunt. That's Tyler Chism, and we are the co-founders of Live in Everett. And hey, Tyler, it's good to see you. What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. I got my Diedrich coffee. Shout out to Diedrich for being a Live in Everett sponsor.
Yeah.
And it's exceptionally warm for Everett. Um,
Yeah. So you went iced,
Beautiful
huh?
day. I've got a nice coffee. Of course, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it's 80 something degrees out. Did you go
I'm
hot?
I'm keeping it hot. I'm keeping it hot. Keeping it hot with my big guy here. Mm-hmm. Yep. So what?
Yeah,
What?
that's the quote right there. Keeping it hot with my big guy.
What did you get?
Okay, so I got an iced Americano, and it's perfect. I feel like most of the time with iced Americanos, they end up being too watery, because you put the hot coffee over the ice, and sometimes they add water to it, and it just ends up being watery. This is perfect. They took the shots right over the ice, maybe a little splash of hot water, um, and I love it. And I like that they have cafe d'arte, that like strong Italian coffee. It really comes through on these ice drinks, and I don't know, it's perfect.
Nice.
Anyway, what do you
I also
get?
got a raspberry bar.
Well, lucky.
Pretty yummy. I got just a vanilla latte, my usual,
Are you going to split it into two servings as usual?
of course.
Yeah, right on.
Save the other half for tomorrow.
I like it.
Um, so yeah, today we're gonna catch up and talk about what's new in Everett, what's new with you and I, and we're also going to talk about what's coming up in Everett and the not too distant future. So yeah, lots of exciting stuff. I feel like the world is starting to go back to normal. Lots of people getting vaccinated. Lots of events starting to happen again. And so yeah, let's talk about some of the new stuff that's been going on in Everett. Um, I know you just helped organize the Sorta Culture event recently. That was a fun one.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of things reopening, we held sorticulture. The state's not reopened, but we had to hold it under the phase 3 guidelines, which around the end of April, the state released some guidance that allowed for outdoor events of a certain capacity and with certain things in place. So, one of the biggest thing with sorticulture is we had to move it downtown because we couldn't run the shuttles. So it was a practical decision, but on top of that, we also thought it would be good to sort of revitalize downtown or bring people downtown. And it was a huge success downtown. I was really nervous about it. And I'll say, like, at the start of sorticulture, I was saying, oh, it's definitely going to go back to Legion Park. And, this is my opinion. I'm not speaking on behalf of the city here, but I could really see it being in downtown permanently. I think there's so many practical benefits. The businesses were popping, people could get in and out easier as far as like parking. You don't have to take a shuttle. ADA folks kept coming up to us and saying how much easier it was to walk on the pavement than the grass at Legion. And just a lot of people just digging the vibe. People saying, "Oh, I didn't know downtown Everett was so cool. I'd never before." That's the same reason for the food truck festival downtown with us. It's like a great way to introduce people to the vibe of downtown Everett and get people off the freeway and into our cool downtown. So yeah, it was awesome. I'm glad it's over. Now I'm working on the 4th of July. We could talk about that later, but that's probably the newest thing with me.
Well, yeah, nice work. I went one day, and yeah, it was really cool. Seemed really well attended, and I liked the flow and layout. Seemed to work well, and so yeah, nice work. That was a really cool event. Other things in downtown that are new and going on. Strawberry Patch Cafe reopened. They've got a couple new menus for like some Asian fusion and like keto options, which is really cool. And then another restaurant that just reopened recently that I'm super thrilled to have back is the Sisters, one of my favorite places in Everett. And that place has been
Yeah.
around well over 30 years, I think since like the early 80s or something. So I was so sad when it closed, but so happy when I heard it reopened. So
I've
both.
been to the Strawberry Patch. they reopened and got their breakfast burrito. I haven't been to Sisters since they reopened. Have you been there since they reopened?
Uh, Not yet. It's on my list. I'm probably gonna go this week. I want to do a little story on it, and
I hope Bert's in here.
I think he is because I think
Oh,
the
good.
was it the Herald did an article, and that was like my first thought is like because yeah, I love Bert. I think he's just great, and so I but they mentioned him in the article that it sounded like he was
Oh,
coming
good.
back. So yeah, definitely got to go say what's up to him. And also, one thing that I heard from the Port of Everett over at Edgewater Beach Park, they just opened up a new fishing pier last week. Have you ever been to Edgewater Beach before?
Yeah, I was just there the other day checking out the fishing pier. You can walk out on the fishing pier now. I don't think the guest dock is open yet, but yeah, I went over there. I rode my motorcycle to check it out with comrade Doug. And Edgewater Beach is like one of those best kept secrets, you know. I always forget it's there, and then I go there and I'm like, what is this place? It's amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great. I love going there. That was one I didn't even go there until maybe a year or two ago for the first time, and but yeah, it's become like one of our favorite places. So that's pretty cool new little thing over there to check out. Um, and then the last thing I wanted to mention was just kind of housing in Everett in general. Another kind of Port of Everett thing, the new waterfront place development. They had the first housing open up down there recently for the new apartments, which it's kind of a big deal. Like first ever housing
Beautiful.
on the Everett waterfront.
Yep.
Um,
Yep. It's popping down there. You know, we've got our boat in the marina for this summer, and
right.
it's just awesome how many people are down there. I think the housing has a lot to do with it, but also just like the great businesses. Man, the port is doing such a good job, and I'm just glad that it's finally happening. You know, I think that the last time all this was planned, it all got swept away in 2008 from the recession, and so yeah, it's a big deal. There's one other thing on the outline here that just says flying squirrel, and I've got to ask what that's.
Oh yeah, I totally wanted to share about that and totally spaced and forgot about it. But so it's a new kind of like family fun center type place, but they also serve beer and stuff. But it's the old Toys R Us location on Everett Mall Way.
Oh, what?
Yeah, and right now they recently opened up the outdoor section. And because of COVID, they kind of delayed opening the indoor area, which will be kind of the primary space once it's fully opened. But right now they have a huge area of the parking lot fenced off, and they put down like AstroTurf, and they have like a humongous like 4,000 square foot bouncy house with like an obstacle course and slides. They have a
Wait.
climbing wall. They have a mechanical bucking squirrel. You know how people will like ride the bull that'll like buck them off. So they have one of those that's a squirrel, and it's pretty fun. We went and checked it out the other week. We actually just had a story on the blog come out recently about it, and yeah, my little toddler like she absolutely loved it. We had to
Oh,
like pry her out of the obstacle course because the obstacle course just like goes in like a circle or like a big square or whatever, and so she was just like doing laps, and yeah, she did not want to leave. And then the next morning, like as soon as we woke her up, she's just like, "Oh, can we go back to flying squirrel and like go bounce?" And like, yeah,
oh,
she loved it. I loved it. It's such a fun thing. You know, it was really sad to see Toys R Us go because like for me, like that place was nostalgic. Like that was like one of my earliest memories of like coming to Everett as a kid was like, oh, Toys R Us. You know, such a cool
yeah,
place
totally.
for a kid. But now to have something that, in my opinion, is actually much more fun, that's like experiential, that you can actually like be physically engaged with, is pretty neat. And they'll have a bunch more stuff once they get the indoor section open this fall. So yeah, it's a pretty cool place.
Yeah, that's amazing. So it's sort of like Chuck E. Cheese, Fantasia, Family Fun Center kind of vibe.
Yeah, yeah, totally. And I think they'll have an even like they are serving beer right now, but they'll have like an even bigger bar like once the indoor area is open. and I think they'll have like some more kind of like high tech type games and stuff. But yeah, that's similar, like family fun center type vibe. Yeah.
And if the owners of Flying Squirrel are watching this, I don't mean it. I don't mean to insult them by comparing it. I'm just trying to orient in my head of like what the kind of thing is. So I'm sure
Right.
it's. I loved those kind of places when I was a kid. I still think about going to Discovery Zone, things like that, and
Right.
and I love seeing those kind of businesses open, businesses that are experiences and not necessarily just selling products. And nothing against the business is just selling, like a retailer that's selling stuff. But I think that we need more experiences and kind of less stuff. So um, that's great. It's probably going to kill it there. So
Totally. Yeah. Pretty fun place. So yeah, what else is new with you, man? What's new in Tyler Chism's world?
well, as usual, I've been working on my house a lot, but I don't know if I'll ever get done with it. I think I've kind of come to terms with the fact that I just like to tinker and make improvements and things. But a lot of the big stuff is done now. Rewired, replumbed, the kitchen, the stairs, the basement. But so now I'm like repainting everything. The house used to be upstairs, kind of like this grayish, and I wanted this like bohemian white, that's sort of trendy right now, like an off white. And I'll tell you what, picking an off white is really, really hard. I've had to paint it like I've kind of yeah twice. The first time I painted it as soon as the sun came out through the westerly window and like went through my landscaping, everything turned like yellow pea green. It was weird, man. So then
I
I
like
had
stuff.
experiment with a bunch of whites until I figured out the white. So just been like painting my ceiling twice, which is horrible, and
Oof.
um, but it's done now, and I like the color. Other than that, I've just been trying to, other than working a lot, sorticulture on the 4th of July, I've just been trying to get out and have some fun in COVID safe ways. Um, Riding my motorcycle, taking the boat out. Are just so lucky to like live right by the water here, And I know you got a little boat too, but we've been taking our boat over to like Hat Island and anchoring in this little kind of cove thing on the east side of Hat Island. Just in the evening, finish work up around 5. It takes about in our boat a little bit over about 40 minutes to kind of get over there and get set up. But then we're just kind of hang out for a couple hours, and it's sort of like an outdoor living room next to a private island. It's pretty cool, It's
Wow.
like been
That is
really, really nice. So we've been doing that, and gardening is the other thing. We've got a
nice.
pretty big garden this year, and I think Dan Ernest called it when he said, as we get out of COVID, everyone's going to have a victory garden, and I think a victory garden is sort of what they called gardens that popped up after World War II, and yeah, a lot of people I know are gardening too. I think you included, but yeah, our garden is insane. We can't even eat all the stuff we're growing. It's amazing. So
Nice.
yeah, but anyway, that's it. What about you?
That's super cool. Yeah, I've been we've got some stuff growing in the garden. Some things that came back from last year, which was really cool. Like we didn't have to do anything. It's just like, oh yeah, the strawberries and like herbs just like popped right back. But I've mostly been getting into growing microgreens indoors, and that's something I've gotten kind of really into like the the last couple months, and that's been a ton of fun and just like rewarding. Like I didn't know that much about microgreens before, but they're pretty easy to grow, and they taste good, and they're just like super nutritious. They're considered like a superfood because there's so many nutrients like packed into them, and so that's been really fun to learn more about and get into that. And then we just went on a little vacation recently. We went over to Chelan for a few days, and then Wenatchee. We just wanted to go somewhere close, which is only about a 2.5, like 3 hour drive to get over the mountains over there. And we had never really vacationed over there before. And so it was just kind of fun to explore like some new areas and soak up some sun. And what else? Yeah, just playing with the kiddo a lot. She loves the water, going over to like the splash park at like Forest Park and going to find squirrel in the playgrounds and, just trying to keep her busy. But yeah, life is good. Definitely enjoying the sunshine. It's nice going into summer. I'm loving the weather. So
You know what else is new?
what else?
We're going to a Seattle Storm game tonight.
That's right. We are indeed. I'm looking forward to that. It'll be my first time. Have you ever been to a Storm game?
I've never been to a professional basketball game, actually. I was just thinking about it this morning. I just went to a Mariners game on Sunday for Father's Day. And let me just tell you, it was really cool to be at a sporting event and it's all you need to show your vaccine card getting in. Some people are still wearing masks, some people aren't. And just to have it feel kind of like normal life again was awesome. So it made me really happy. So I'm looking forward to that. I love the Angel of the Winds Arena too. There's like not a bad seat in the house. Food's good. It's just fun to go to a sporting event. But I've never been to a basketball game. I don't even really know that much about basketball or the rules of it. I know the ball's got to go in the hoop, but I think it'll be fun. It'll be cool. I know. Anyway, what about you? Have you been to a basketball game before? Do you know much about basketball?
I played basketball for years when I was a kid. Um, I went to one Sonics game back when the Sonics were in Seattle. But otherwise, I've never been to any professional basketball games. So yeah, should be a good time. I'm looking forward to. I scored free tickets for donating blood to Bloodworks Northwest, and so that's how that kind of came about. So shout out to Bloodworks for hooking it up.
I'm going to ask you how you got the tickets. I feel honored that you had to give your blood and that you chose me to give the ticket to you. That's very generous of you.
And you were my first choice after my wife said no. So congratulations. So let's talk about upcoming events and fun stuff to look forward to in Everett that is coming up in the near future. Where do we start? I know, like you mentioned earlier, you've been working on the 4th of July festivities that will be happening soon.
Yeah, so it's cool. My job at the city is the city's events, but then I also help coordinate all of the external events too. So I've been talking to all these event organizers who are planning things in Everett again. And I know we're doing this call on Zoom, and hopefully this will be like our last pandemic special here, and we can start doing videos in person again. But things are opening back.
And you look frozen. But maybe I'm frozen. Check, check. Okay, I'm gonna pause the recording. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yep.
All right, sorry about that. Had a little flash freeze there.
Yeah, I don't know if it's you or if it's me, but yeah, it's all good. We're back now. I think we were talking about summer events, and I was saying that it's cool working at the city and helping all of these events coordinate their events in the city, because I can kind of see firsthand that events are coming back and we're reopening, and it's got me in a great mood. The next event with the city is the 4th of July. So the 4th of July festival is coming back. We'll have a festival at Legion Park. Fireworks are going to go off at about 10 p.m. I would just recommend anybody interested in Everett 4th of July festivities, just go to visiteverett.com/July4. At the Legion Park Festival, we'll have live music, a beer garden, food trucks, and some fun stuff for kids. There's other cool things happening on the 4th of July too that you can learn about at that visiteverett.com/July4. And there's a concert at the Port of Everett being put on by Everett Music Initiative. The Yankee Doodle Dash is going on. The Delta neighborhood has some fun things planned. So yeah, that's coming up. Other events that I think are coming back this year, I know Fisherman's Village is coming back. They just announced that, as well as music at the marina. So the city's not doing music at the marina, but the Everett Music Foundation is, which is part of Everett Music Initiative, from what I understand. The Shacks events, so Fresh Paint and the Artist Garage Sale, So
Right.
that's the Jack Art Center. For those who don't know, Fresh Paint is happens in downtown, and I'm sorry, Fresh Paint happens at the waterfront, and the Artist Garage Sale happens downtown. And I think you can find all that information on the Shack's website. I think Cruising to Colby is coming back in September. Normally it would happen in May, but I think they're coming back in September. And then Sausage Fest is coming back again this fall too.
Oh, really? Cool. Very nice. And Food Truck Festival.
Yep.
We're bringing it back August 27th and 28th, which the Food Truck Festival will primarily be on August 28th, which is a Saturday, but we're doing it in conjunction this year with the Upper Left Beer Fest. And so the Beer Fest will be on the 27th and 28th, and we'll have them right next to each other on the same street on Wetmore there, right next to Hewitt. So on one side of Hewitt, we'll have about 20 to 25 food trucks. Other side of Hewitt, we'll have the whole beer festival set up, and it should be a super fun time. I know, yeah, a lot of people were bummed when we had to cancel last year. So that
Yeah.
should be super duper cool. And yeah, details on that are at everettfoodtruckfestival.com.
Jetty Island's coming back too. So the Jetty
Oh yeah.
Island series starts on July 5th. And it's got a limited schedule this year. I believe it is running Wednesday through Sunday. And I know the county, the port, and the city all kind of rallied together to bring that back for folks this year. There is a small boarding fee for the ferry now. I think the days of the free ferry service might be gone. But let's just be honest, you know, a free boat run by Parks Department was pretty amazing that it lasted as long as it did. So I think you get over to Jetty now will be like $3. And I believe there's going to be like assistance for like low income families and stuff, and certain like free days and free programs and stuff. But you can learn more about that at Visit Everett as well. VisitEverett.com. Right on the homepage is all the Jetty Island stuff.
Nice. Yeah, and who knows, with paying a few bucks, it might be that much better too. Like, you know, because I feel like oftentimes there is a cost to things being free. Like we went on a trip to New York years ago, and we saw this thing about like a free play in the park, but you had to go get tickets. So we're like, oh, that sounds fun, like a free play. So we go get tickets, and the line's like a mile long, and people are like, oh yeah, we've been here since like 5 a.m. or whatever, you know. And it's like, well, that's the cost of free. Like you gotta get there super duper early and wait a long time, or you know, because I know that was one issue with the ferry before. Like it was cool that it was free, but it would also often be sold out and tough to get on sometimes. So
Now you can go in and reserve your tickets, pay
uh,
for them. I believe you can like plan all your dates and just reserve all those ones, plan your whole summer, and all the dates you want to be over at the Jetty. So yeah, it'll be cool.
awesome.
Mother of all garage sales is coming back.
That's what I hear. Yep, I want to say early August, I believe. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, so that's a fun one in the northwest neighborhood, in the northwest part of Everett, of course.
I love the
For
Mother
those
of
that,
all garage sales. Not only do I love deals on like furniture and things and art and tools, but um, in particular, there's one house, he's a contractor and he always sells tools at a great price. But then there's this family, I think they're on Grand, but they sell tamales in their front yard and they're always delicious, like tamales and corn on the cob and
nice.
bevies. And so that's really what I look forward to is the tamales.
Tools and tamales.
You know, keys
I
to my
like
heart.
it. I like it. I like it. Cool. Well, I think that about covers it. Couple businesses that I've heard about that should be opening up soon. Breakfast at Tiffany's, I saw a sign up for at it's on, what is it? Hewitt and Hoyt Avenue, right on the corner there. That's supposed to be opening soon. Hopefully that'll be a cool new breakfast spot. And then I also just heard about a place called the Lucky Dime
Mhm.
that will be like I think like a bar, music venue, like artist venue. in the old Black Lab Gallery space that Alex and Amber Vincini are doing.
That's so
Um,
cool.
and yeah, I don't know a lot about it, but it sounds super awesome. I think Christopher's going to try and write a story about it.
Cool.
And I heard that I think Black Lab Gallery is moving like across the street to another location. So hopefully they'll be sticking around as well. And so yeah, that should be exciting. And yeah, all kinds of exciting things happening. And I feel like things are coming back. You know, things are opening, things are happening. It's exciting times. So
Yeah, there's a lot to be hopeful about. Um, and that's definitely a change of mood for me. It's like starting to edge out of this pandemic. People are getting vaccinated, things are reopening, the sun's shining. It's such a beautiful week this week, particularly in Everett. And I don't know, I'm happy for a change. I feel like, it's been hard to be happy for the last, since March of 20, what was that? I can't even remember. Was that March of
20,
2020?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been a long time coming. It's been a crazy year plus. So yeah, things are looking up. Things are looking good. So yeah, thanks for hanging out, everybody. Anything else you want to add before we sign off here, Tyler?
What are you going to eat at the game tonight?
I don't know. I don't even know what the options are. I haven't been to the arena in a while.
I do feel like the best of these types of games is really the food. Last time I went to an event at the Angel of the Winds Arena, I was looking all over for garlic fries and I couldn't find them. So I'm really hoping there's garlic fries. But I think Major League Pizza has a
Ooh,
shop and I think that's going to be my jam.
that's a good idea. Are you gonna eat dinner there, or eat dinner beforehand?
I might do a light dinner at home and then a second dinner of sporting arena junk food.
I like the way
Little
you
Dippin'
think.
Dots, the ice cream of the future, maybe some kettle corn,
There
all
you
that
go.
kind of stuff, you know?
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. All right. Well, hey, thanks for hanging out, everybody. Thanks to Diedrich for sponsoring this video, and to all of our awesome Live in Everett members, all of our awesome patrons who help support us and keep Live in Everett going. And thanks to this place we call Everett for being so great. And we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Bye, everybody. Bye, Garrett.
Bye.
See you later tonight.